All right, let's talk about a problem that I think drives all of us a little crazy: trying to keep track of changes in a project without completely losing our minds. Today, we're going to introduce you to the tools that can solve this whole mess for good. Okay, let's just dive right in. Take a look at this file name. Oh yeah, I mean, come on. We have all been there, right? You're just trying to manage different versions of something, and before you know it, your project folder is a total mess. You know the drill. You've got files named final, then final underscore v2, and my personal favorite, final underscore for real underscore use this one. It is so incredibly easy to get lost, delete the wrong thing, or send your boss a version from 3 weeks ago. But listen, there is a much, much better way to handle all this. So, section 1, your project's time machine. And honestly, that's the perfect way to think about it. The solution to all that file chaos is a concept called version control. It's basically a safety net, or yeah, a literal time machine for everything you create digitally. So what actually is a version control system? Well, it's way more than just saving different copies of a file. Think of it like a perfect, detailed logbook for your project. It records every single change you make. And the best part, you get to leave a little note with each change, explaining why you did what you did. You end up with this flawless, step-by-step history. And what does that actually get you? Well, for one, it means you can experiment without fear. You want to try some totally wild new idea in your code? Go for it. Because if it all blows up, it's no big deal. You just hit rewind and go back to a version that worked. You can find out exactly when and where a bug snuck in. It's a total game changer. I absolutely love this quote. Git is like a time machine, and branches are like parallel universes. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it is a perfect description. You see, you don't just have one single history for your project. You can create these alternate realities, these branches, to test out new features without messing up your main stable version. It's awesome. All right, section 2, meet Git, the code tracker. So let's talk about our first tool, and it's the big one, the most popular version control system on the planet. You've probably heard its name before. It's called Git. Yeah, Git is pretty much the king of the hill, and it has been for a long time, for a very good reason. It is an absolute beast when it comes to tracking changes in anything that's text-based. So we're talking code, scripts, project documentation. If it's text, Git is your best friend. Now, here's something you gotta get about Git. Saving your work isn't just one click. It's a very deliberate two-step dance. First, you use Git add. Think of this like putting your changes into a shopping cart. You're picking out exactly what you want to save in your next snapshot. Then, once your cart is ready, you use git commit to, well, check out. That takes the snapshot and saves it forever in your project's history, along with that all-important message explaining what you did. So Git is amazing, right? But it's not perfect for everything. It has a kind of Achilles heel, actually. And that brings us right to section 3, meet DataLad, the data tracker. So what's Git's big weakness? Well, like we said, it's a master with text, but you throw a big file at it, like an image, a video, a giant scientific data set, and it kind of chokes. It just wasn't built for that stuff. So that begs the question, how in the world do we get all this awesome time machine power for our data? And that is where DataLad enters the picture. Think of it like Git's superpowered sidekick. It's built right on top of Git, so you get all that raw power, but it's been specifically engineered to handle data. Any kind of data, no matter how huge. Fun fact, it was actually created by folks in the neuroimaging world who were just drowning in massive data sets and said, okay, we have to fix this. And check this out, it even makes the workflow a little simpler. Remember Git's two-step add and commit dance? Well, DataLad knows you're dealing with big data files, so it just streamlines the whole thing. It combines both of those steps into one single, easy-to-remember command. DataLad, save. Done. Okay, so section 4, which tool is for you? We've got Git for code and we've got DataLad for data. So let's just lay it all out and make it crystal clear when you should be using which tool. Honestly, it's not complicated at all. The rule of thumb is this. Is your project mostly text? You know, scripts, code, notes? Stick with Git. It's the master of that. The moment you start bringing in big data files, we're talking images, videos, audio, scientific data sets, you name it, that's your cue to bring in DataLad. Simple as that.
So, okay, why should you really, really care about this? Because this whole thing is about so much more than just not accidentally deleting your final paper. This is way bigger. This is the bedrock of how modern science and development get done. It's about making your work transparent and reusable, working with a team without stepping on each other's toes, and having an instant, practically free backup system. It's just, well, it's how professional work gets done these days. So, look, the main thing to take away from all this is that version control isn't some weird niche skill just for hardcore programmers anymore. It is an absolutely essential tool for, well, pretty much anyone who works with files on a computer. So, the only real question left is what's that one folder on your computer? You know the one I'm talking about, that's just begging for a time machine.